sucking up the sunlight. Look at that. We have the power. Look at that, self-feeding wood. See that? Yeah, there you go, 67%. Today on In the Wood Yard, I got a new package. Let's look inside and see what kind of prize I've won. Here we go. So I have had yet another company reach out to me about these rechargeable battery packs for working on location. And this one is sent to me from a company called Oupes. I want to say it's O-U-P-E-S. Oupes. This one is a bigger unit. It is a 1800 watt, and I believe this came with solar panels for charging. So we're going to try it out today. So we're going to open her up and see what's inside right now. It's orange. That's a good color. It goes with my color theme. Okay, there it is. I got it out of the shipping box. So this is a portable power station. Oh, it's packaged really nice. Big time foam pads here. Boxed in really nice. It's got a separate container for all of the accessory stuff. I'm guessing these are the cables and charge. Yep, there it is. It's the charger cables. Let's see if I just lift this up. Oh, there it is. It's black. And nice foam padding they had in there. Wow, they did that right. That was packaged very nicely. So let's see if there's any power on it. The last one I got from the other company, it says it's 61%. Look at that. That's awesome. It comes with juice. And I also got the solar panels. I'm going to go grab those next. We're going to plug it in. It's a sunny day, so we're going to see what happens. I'm going to give this a try. We're going to see if we can get this thing to work and powering my bundler, because I have some bundles to make. Oh, very nice. It's got a light on the back here. 3 different settings. You got low, high, and flash. SOS, I'm guessing that's what that is. It's got 3 ports for plugging in, where you turn your power on right here. Oh, look at that. 99 hours it says. That's what I've got if I run it at my current pace, which is nothing. Here's the input for charging. It's got USB ports, power ports for different wattages for different devices. It's got a 12 volt, 10 amp, and it also has the charger for a car charger. So pretty cool. Or devices that use that style. So yeah, this is the input charge. So we're going to hook it up to the solar chargers and see what happens. So we'll grab them. Okay, so I've got the unit here. I just got out the instruction manual. I'm just going to go over some of this stuff basically to kind of go over so I know what I'm looking at here and so you guys know. It's got a 2-year warranty on the power station itself. The solar panels have a 1-year warranty, and the adapters and cables have a 2-year warranty. So there's that. In the actual user manual here, it says this is the ideal portable emergency power for outdoor camping and home use. So yeah, it's pretty easy. You've got your power button you turn on right here. You just hold it in for 3 seconds, and it comes on. It says it's 61%. And then your outlets here, you have to actually turn those on. You have to push a button here, and it'll turn those on. And then the input is for when you're charging, and there's a charger that it comes with, so you can plug it into regular cord, plug it into regular household electricity to charge it, or you can use the solar panels, which we're going to do here in just a second. The battery capacity ring that goes around, it shows you how much it's charged, but it's got a USB-A, USB-C. It has a built-in fan for cooling. When you charge it, the fan comes on. This is right out of the box though. I mean, I just opened it. But I do know that when you turn them on, or when you plug them in, any of the power packs, they have built-in fans, and they'll keep it so that it doesn't get too hot. So it's a high temperature protection. Power display, charging display, port status, and car charger port status. That's lights up down here, I guess. And when it comes to charging, there's a converter. It's a 200 watt AC adapter. It says it takes about 8 hours to fully charge it. It can take, actually it says 4 hours. So I think we're going to plug in the solar panels here and see if we can have it produce, see if we can get it to work. So these are the portable solar charging packs that they sent me. There's 2 of them. They each have 4 panels, and it's a handy dandy little case here. You fold them up. The cords are right in the back. There's a pocket here for your cords that just stuff in, and it's already connected. So all you gotta do is plug it into the unit when you want to charge it, which we're gonna do in just a minute here. It's got a little leg, so when you're charging the unit, you can just tip it back like this. Holds the whole thing up so you can aim it towards the sun. And again, it's just a Velcro closure. I open these up just to take a peek at them, but there's 4 panels. And so pretty big. And then there's 2 sets. This is just a release paper, screen film they got on there, the plastic. So there now, got to be careful with these. They don't want to damage the array. So there it is. Let's go hook her up and see what she'll do. Oh, look at that. I didn't realize that. There's a leg on each section. Oh, cool. All right, let's go give it a try. Okay, so we're out in the field here, which I figured was a good place to be because there's a lot of sun out here. I wanted to get away from any shade happening. I'm going to plug this in and see how it does. We're also here in this location because right to your left, my right, is a big pile of wood, and I have a customer that wants some bundled wood, so we're going to use this, hopefully, to bundle some wood with my bundler. I think it's going to work. It's 1800 watts, and it's a little 1/3 horsepower, a 1/4 horsepower engine. I think it'll power it, so we're going to find out, because that would be awesome if it did, because that way I wouldn't have to ever run extension cords anywhere. This little baby could just go with me wherever the bundler goes, whether it's here at my brother's or my other brother's, or we'd be able to use this little power pack without any cords, which would be awesome. And I have to do about 50 bundles, so we're going to find out if it lasts that long. I would think it would. 50 bundles is not that many. But that would be great because I can use this obviously for doing the bundles like I mentioned. I do already use my other unit. I'll use this one too for when I take my Dremel, when I go on location for sharpening my chainsaws. I could use it to power a radio. I could use it to power a little cooler, a little plug-in cooler for beverages, the good ones. And this would also work for my lights in my camper, which I plan on using this when I go on hunting trips, because I have LED lights in there and a TV, and I know this will power it because I already tried out my other little unit and it works. So I know this will work. This will just last longer because it's a bigger pack and be able to power more stuff. So I'm going to get a lot of use out of this bugger. At first, when these companies started contacting me, I was a little like, what would I use that for? I got cords. I've got electricity. But my eyes have been opened. Another one of those things that, you tend to get in a rut and you think you've got all you need, but then something new comes along, you try it out, and it's like, wow. I know that's how I was when I first got my truck and I had the backup camera for the first time on my truck. I thought, why would I need a backup camera? I know how to back up. And then the very first time I backed up to my trailer to hook it up, and you can see your ball hitch and right where your ball and the hitch are making contact or lined up perfectly. It's like, wow, that was nice. And now I use it all the time. So it's one of those things, you kind of get used to the way you do things and you think that's all you need. But there are some good things out there. So we're going to give this baby a try. We're going to plug these in, see how it's charging. And then I also want to see if I can run this with the bundler while the solar panels are on charging. We'll see if you can keep it on while I'm using it. So we're going to find out real quick. So I'm going to open up the first one here, and as I'm looking at the name, the Oupes, I'm going to say that I'm going to pronounce that as if that was a T, it would be outs. So we're going to call it Oupes. Oupes. Does that sound good? That's what I'm going to say from now on, Oupes. So we're going to open up the panel here and see if I got it the right direction. No. How does this got to go here? Let's look. That is upside down. We got to go this way. Because the legs in the back, right here, the way they pop out, and there's one on each section. I'm going to put it back here. Oh yeah, and you can tilt them to whatever degree you want it to be. But obviously, you want it to hit the sun as much as possible. Oops, they folded in on me. There we go. There. That's, yep, well, I've got to go this way just a little bit. And then we're 100% sun. There we go, there's one. And we'll set up the other one over here. Actually, I think I'm going to do them in a row because the cords might not be long enough to plug it in, but so I'll do them back to back here. So the other one we're going to put just behind it, so it's in a row behind each other. There's another one. One more leg to put down. I'll open this up, and that essentially is the other leg. Oh, I suppose I should get my cords out first here. So these are the charging cords. Oh, they're pretty long, so I think I'll be able to have the power pack off to the side. It doesn't have to be right next to these things, which would be nice because that way you can use it maybe while it's charging. We'll find out. That's at least 10 feet of cord. And input right here. There we go. Oh, and it turns right on just like that. That's all you gotta do, and it says it's charging. So as soon as you plug it in, it's on. Awesome. There we go. So we'll plug this one in. And I'm gonna take a peek here and see what it says. I can hear the fan kicked on. There's a cooling fan that runs. Yep, it says the fan is on, and it says it's charging. So it says here we're getting 128 watts right now with the sun that's on the panels. This one maybe needs to be tilted a little bit more. So yeah, as the sun moves, you got to kind of probably adjust. This one I had a little too upright. There we go. Now we got it fully open. I think that should be good. 133, 135. Yep, input watts, 135 is where it's running at right now. So we're gonna leave it plugged in for a little while here and just let it do its thing. I'm guessing it takes hours to fully charge it. If it takes 4 hours plugged into a regular outlet, household outlet, to as many as 8 hours, but it said 4 hours if you're using the battery pack, which is what I was doing. I was using the charger that it comes with. I'm guessing that this is going to be a lot slower. I would guess it's going to take 8 to 10, maybe even 12 hours. It didn't say in any of the instructions I could find, so we're going to find out. I'm just going to leave it on, and I'm going to get my bundler set up right behind the camera, and we're going to bundle some pine firewood with this baby. Ought to be fun. All right. Okay, so there are the solar panels charging away, sucking up the sunlight. Here's the power cord running over to the unit, the Oupes power pack. It is charging. It's at 62% now, and it said 60 when I first plugged it in, so we picked up a couple percentage. I got the bundler here. This is a brute force wrap bundler. They call it the FB Firewood Bundler 16. So 16-inch size. This is adjustable. I'll show you this in just a minute, but it's a brute force. This was given to me by the fine folks at Brute Force to use for bundling, for doing some videos. I've used it several times now, and I'm going to be using it a bunch more. Josh at Brute Force was at a show last October, I think. We were at a show and we were talking, and they had a couple of these there, and I was telling them that I should do some videos for him sometime. He says, well, why don't you take one home and make some videos? So he gave this to me to use, and I've bundled a bunch of wood with it for my brother Ken. You probably saw those videos last February, I think we did them. We bundled a lot, hundreds of bundles, and I used it myself for some bundling, and I'm going to bundle some more today. And my brother Eric also sells bundled campfire wood, and we're going to be taking this to his place and doing some bundling real soon also. And the good thing about all of this is that I plugged in the unit. This is a 1/4 horsepower. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a 1/4 horsepower engine right there, and it pulls 3.9 amps, it says. And so there's a little electric motor. It is plugged in, and the way this works is you plug in the power cord for the motor into the foot feed. They hook up together, and then you plug it directly into the unit here. Watch this. I put my foot on this. Look at that. We have the power. So this will be able to go anywhere, and it runs while it's plugged in. So if you're bundling for hours and you're on location, leave it plugged in, it'll just keep charging. So sweet. I like this renewable energy stuff because I do have a renewable energy plant here between my splitter, my chainsaws, and the processor. Basically, it's a very good renewable energy power plant. Okay, we're gonna do some bundling right now. Look at that, self-feeding wood. So we're gonna see what happens here. We're gonna make some bundles. So this is all pine here, which is what I sold the guy last time. This is going to a gas station. And he said, same as last time, that's what he wanted. So we're gonna bundle some chunks here. And I'm gonna try to make them so that they're a manageable size. Last time I made them super huge, but I think this time I'm gonna try to make them so that they're not quite as huge, but still decent sized. So probably not quite full size, as big as it'll go, but close. Last time I made them monstrous. I had them way too big, like way too big. Let's try this guy here. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay, so here we go. It's a thing of beauty. All right. Ooh, that's a big bundle. That's pretty massive. I'm gonna have to cut them down a little bit because that's heavy. That is a big bundle. So one big one. Let's try something just a little bit smaller for the next one. I want to get the right size so it works good for me and for them. Last time, like I said, I made the bundles really big. This time I want to make them just a little bit smaller, not quite as huge. I know a lot of people do 0.65, 0.75. Some people do 1, some people do 1 1/4, 1 1/3, 1 1/2. And that first one I did was probably 1 1/2. I mean, it was big. That's a big bundle. Let's put this guy right there. Okay, let's see what happens now. Beautiful. That's a better size bundle. Not quite as heavy, still plenty big. That's better. All right, let's try another one. A twirl, a twist, a wrap. There we go. That's more like it. That's a better size. Those first two were too big. So what do we got here? Looks like 8 pieces. Do matter. Perfect. Now we're cooking with oil or sunshine. That's what we're cooking with today, sunshine. I feel just like John Denver. I got sunshine on my shoulder and it makes me happy. For those of you that are old, get that one. Young people have no clue what I was just talking about. It's a song. It's an old song from Johnny D. Sweet. I've been doing 3 wraps. Tell me if that's too much or not enough. But it seems to be good, so that's what we're going to keep it at, 3 wraps. Now, someone was asking me not too long ago how many bundles I think I can wrap, like in a day. By myself, I know if I bundle a truckload, which is like 50 bundles, 40 bundles, whatever it ends up being, depends on what the people want, it takes me about an hour by myself. Once you get going, I think you could probably get it, you could pick up the pace. And I have talked to several people that do a lot of bundling. One guy in particular told me that's like 100% of his business is bundling, and him and his wife work together on it. And he said they average a minimum of 80 an hour to as many as 100 an hour if they're really smoking. If they've got the wood right there, and I think they work out of a dump trailer. They fill the dump trailer and then the wood just comes to them. So it slides right to them. So they're not really going to get the wood or reaching for it much other than right next to them. And they can do a lot of bundles. So if you work, say, an 8-hour day, if you did 80 bundles, that's 600, 700 bundles in an 8-hour day. If you're normal, but if you're not normal like me and you work 12 or 16 hours, I suppose you could do 1,000. I don't know. I haven't had to do that many, but I do know that you can make hundreds of bundles pretty easily, pretty fast. This is a very fast machine here. Some people have the hand crank ones, which work great too. There's nothing wrong with those at all. But if you're doing volume, you're going to want electricity, because then it's just a matter of placing the pieces, getting a wrap and wrapping it, and then migrating the wood from the pile to wherever you're putting it and stacking it in your trailer or truck and then transporting it. So a lot of handling with bundling. Now, one of the things I should address is how much I'm charging for these. I get $4 a bundle for these, but I'm not selling them other than in bulk. I don't have a stand out anywhere yet, which we may do. And if I do that, they're probably going to be $5 or $6 a bundle. I think the station where I take these to, he sells them for $6 or $7 a bundle. They are bigger bundles. A lot of places I've noticed right now are charging $6.95 to $7.95. It's kind of the going rate I've seen lately at a lot of the places I've been going and looking for bundles. And that's retail, but I'm selling these more wholesale. Well, I'm just dumping them and then they take care of everything else. And I'm getting paid up front. They pay me a flat fee, cash, right when I deliver them. No check, I get cash. So now for people that do massive amounts of bundling, there are people I've talked to that do thousands of bundles. Actually, I know one guy, I'm going to be going there and doing a tour of his place. He does hundreds of thousands of bundles. That's all he does. And they have several wrapping stations, like 4 or 5, and they go all day long every day. That's what they do. But there's people that do it on a smaller volume, but that's the main part of their business. I know Michelle down in Baraboo at SS Firewood, if you've seen her channel. She has a campground that buys all their wood from her, and it's a lot. It's thousands of bundles. So once you get a good account, it's a good one to keep. And there are a lot of people that's what they do. They have accounts that they just fill all the time and can make a lot of money doing that. Now, there's a place that I've done some videos at that's north of here, north and east of here. It's called Frank's Firewood. He sells semi-loads, not bundled. He just sells the wood ready to be bundled down in Chicago. They do 2 to 3 semi-loads every day down to Chicago. And they sell to suppliers down there that then bundle it and then distribute it. But they just deliver the wood ready to be bundled. So there's a lot of different ways you can do this. You don't have to do the bundling thing. I prefer to sell in bulk. Now, there are some drawbacks when you sell in bulk, because you're not going to make as much on your wood, per piece, obviously, because you're selling in bulk. And for me, it just works because I just don't have the time to babysit a whole bunch of stations to make sure they've got their wood and deliver it like right away, because usually they call you when they're out and they want it now. And because I have so many other things going on, I have my other business, I have the YouTube channel, and I have the firewood business, and I just don't have time to do that. So I prefer to sell in bulk, like I said, where people are buying a face cord or a full cord or 5 full cords at a time, and I load it up in my trailer or my truck and I go deliver it. Now, the drawback, like I mentioned, is the dollar amount you get per bundle, and not per bundle, per face cord. So a face cord is 1/3 of a cord, for those of you that have never heard that term, or it's also called a rick. Basically, a face cord, 1/3 of a cord, or a rick, if you fill your truck a 6.5 foot box, if you fill it level but loose, that is about 1/3 of a cord, or a rick, or face cord, or whatever you want to call it. And if you stack it, it'll be 3 rows across, level, and then just a little bit extra. If you stack your bed full of 6.5 foot box, you can get a 1/2 of a full cord or a face cord and a 1/2 stacked. So when I deliver my face cords, 1/3 of a cords, in my truck, which I do a lot of, to people that just want 1/3 of a cord at a time. I have a lot of people that don't want big, huge deliveries. They only want 1 face cord. That's all their rack holds. They don't burn wood to heat their house. They're burning wood just for fun. So they buy a face cord, 1/3 of a cord at a time. Now, when I sell pine, right now I'm getting $90 for a face cord. It's going to go to $100 probably this year, real soon actually. And for my mixed hardwood, I'm getting $120. For my cherry and my hickory, I'm getting $130 now, because the cherry and the hickory is hard to get, and a lot of people like it and they want it. So I do charge a little bit more for it, and I also pay more to get it. So when you bundle it, if you're doing 0.75 cubic feet per bundle, you're going to get about 42 bundles in a face cord or 1/3 of a cord. And for that, I'm getting $90. But if you bundle it, that same amount of wood, you're going to get over $200 at $4 or a little less, a little bit more, depending on what you're charging. So you're more than doubling your money. But You have to bundle it. You have to handle it, putting it in the truck, and when you get there, you got to unload it into the racks or where they want it usually. Usually you can't just dump it because you can't dump bundle wood. You got to actually place it or set it somewhere. All the big guys, what they do is they put it right on pallets and then they wrap it. So they have a forklift they take with them, and they just take it in the fork on the pallet, they set it down, get another one, set it down, drive away. So that's the way to do it efficiently. But I'm not that efficient. I'm still old school. And for a lot of you that do this just on the side, this is probably how you're going to end up doing it. So let's get back to doing some bundling. I got, what did I get done here? 6? I got a long ways to go. Got a few to do. Okay, so I've been bundling now for, I don't know, 10 minutes, maybe at the most, if that, but I've been moving cameras, doing a lot of different angles and stuff, and talking while I'm doing my bundling. And I just checked the battery pack, and when I started, before I plugged in the panels, it was at 61%. And I just looked, before I turn the camera on here, hopefully I can get down in here close enough so you guys, 67%. I think you guys can see that. You see that? Yeah, there you go, 67%. So I am gaining while I'm using. That is sweet, the power of the sun. Now, I'm not a huge solar power advocate by any means. I like oil, I like diesel, I like gasoline. Fossil fuels are just fine for me. I like wood. Everything is my opinion. Do everything to make power. Nuclear, fine, do it all, whatever works. I don't care. Just give me power. Affordable power, that is. But this is pretty cool. So I got to admit, in certain places, this is going to be nice. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to power everything with the sun. Not everything. A lot of stuff. And yes, you can do battery packs and stuff like that, and a pretty big array where you could power your house and things. Unless it's cloudy or you live in an area where there's not a lot of sun ever, like, you know, say Alaska in the wintertime. So you're going to be kind of limited there. But in certain situations for these power packs, these are very handy. And I can see using this power pack for a lot of situations where I used to run power cords, or I used to just do without and do things manually. Now I'm going to be able to have power wherever I go. So this little Oupes, O-U-P-E-S unit, very cool. I like it. As my good friend Lloyd Christmas would say, I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
So back to bundling. Well, I've got all those bundles. That's 43, and I needed 45. That's number 44, and I ran out of the wrap. So luckily, I have another bundle, another roll I brought along, and I just got to take it off. So all I got to do is turn these nuts off and then slide the new one in and just get it set to the right tension for the spring here. Now, I did watch my watch while I was bundling there, and a couple of them from the time I set down a bundle to when I set down the next bundle, 30 seconds. But most of the time it was 35 to 40 seconds because I had to search for the wood a little bit, because it's not just dropping right to me from like a dump trailer, and the wood I have to take a step or two to grab it. So I think if you had a dump trailer, you could probably get 30 seconds per bundle pretty easily, even by yourself. But then there's the prep work, setting it up. Okay, so I got the nut loosened up. It's on there pretty tight, and all you do is you take the core off, and then you got to make sure you got your wrap running the correct direction, which is this way. And stick this on, and then stick your spring on for tensioning, and then your two nuts, the one that holds it and then the one that's the kind of placeholder where you can get it so it doesn't spin out on you, which I think one might work, but obviously they put two on for a reason. It must occasionally loosen up. So yeah, I could have almost finished, but I ran out, and I did a couple of the wraps with 4 twists instead of just 3. If I wouldn't have done that, I probably had half a dozen I did like that. If I wouldn't have done that, I might have been able to get all 45 done. Now I'm doing 45 because they want 50, but they want 45 of the bigger stuff, and he said 5 of the small stuff. Let's see what this does. Whoa! Okay, I guess it's tight now. Here we go. 45. Done. Okay, so there it is. Now, I just looked before I started the camera up again here. I looked at my battery pack, and I've been bundling steady for, 15 minutes or so. I got all these done. My battery pack is up to 71%. So I'm constantly gaining with the solar as it's out here. So I've already gained about 10% since I've been out here, and I've only been out here for, 45 minutes or something like that, if that, doing the bundling and talking and shooting the video. So nice. So now we're gonna go deliver this. I'm gonna come back, and after I deliver it, we're gonna put all this stuff away, and I'm gonna leave my solar charger on while I'm gone. So when I come back, we're gonna check it again, and we're gonna see what the Oupes battery pack power station, we'll see what it says for percent. Because there is a few clouds, but it's still kind of a, so I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of shadows here, but I'm sure it'll keep charging. So we're going to do delivery. Well, I just got back from my firewood delivery, so I was gone for about an hour or so, and the battery pack is charging. Right here's the solar array that is up, and that particular unit I'm very impressed with. Like I said, when I first plugged it in, it was around 60 or 61%, and then while I was working with the bundler, which took about an hour or so to bundle everything, get it all in, do the video, it was up to 71%. And so now I just looked when I came back at it. It's because it's been charging the whole time I've been gone, and it is now at 78%. You can see, I think you guys can see, yeah, 78% it's up to. So about 10% an hour it seems like it's gaining or so. I would imagine it probably charges faster in the beginning, and then I know with most batteries, rechargeables, usually they charge fast in the beginning and then slower towards the end. They slow down, they don't charge as fast. But still, it's almost up to 80% now, so that's pretty cool. So very nice. So yeah, it's a nice long cords here, so you can have this. Now I did notice the fan is running on this, but this is in the sun, this is just hot. So with having it in the sun, the fan is going to run more. I suppose if I would have had it in the shade, it might not. The fan wouldn't run as much because I can actually hear it and feel it. Yeah, you can hear it running on the inside. Actually, I can just barely feel it on the side here because there's vents. Oh yeah, you can just barely feel it coming. So yeah, there's a fan running, and it's charging. So all I got to do now is put the bundler away, and then I'm going to, after I get that put away, I'm going to come back. I'm going to pick up the portable power station and the solar panels and put them away for the day. So we're gonna go put this thing away right now. So there it is, the Oupes power pack. Pretty cool. It's at 80% right now, and we gained about 20% just having it charged in with the sun on for a couple hours. So I think if you had it charged in for a full day, you'd easily have it fully charged. Very nice unit. I'm gonna be using this a lot. I like it, and you guys want to check them out? Oupes battery pack, power station. There it is. That's it for today, folks. You know what to do. Poke the buttons. I'll be back tomorrow 5:30 a.m. with another video for you, because that's what I do. Right now you're going to go watch another video on my channel because that's what you do. That's it for today, folks. Good night, everyone.